Hello.
Hello, welcome back to the Witty Bitties in Nevada.
Absolutely.
So, in this episode, we've got to start with one thing: biddies in traffic. Stupid people in traffic. You were starting to tell me about an idiot situation.
I don't get it. I really don't, people. I don't. I try to be patient. And of course, you're not allowed to flip people off because it's not nice. Right?
Right.
Right.
And out here, you've got concealed carry people, so you don't know who can end up pulling out a gun on you.
Exactly. I just don't get it. I don't understand why people don't. Is the speed limit nowadays is just a suggestion? I mean, that's
Well,
it's
what
just
do
a
you mean?
suggestion.
Okay. I normally drive 5 miles over.
Me too. I set my cruise control.
Okay. Now, that's now. When I was a teenager and younger, oh hell, I can't drive 55 was like a theme song.
Oh, absolutely.
You're going 78 miles an hour. And then bitching at people that was in front of you, like, get out of my way, woman. Um, so, what is it about people now? Are they driving too slow? Are they
Really?
cutting you
Really?
off?
You asking
Hey,
us that?
yes, I've literally asked you a question. Is it that they were driving too slow?
Oh,
We
it's
do have a large senior citizen population. So, yes, they at times drive too slow. Were they tourists? Are they not using their turn signals? Oh, that irritates the hell out of me. Go ahead.
you and I have had this discussion before, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody. What is with you and Subaru drivers? Subaru drivers,
What is it?
they drive slow. They always
No,
drive
we
this.
don't.
Everyone,
Okay, I own a
every
Subi.
Subaru I get behind. It is so funny
Okay,
because
but
it's either older people
okay, a 70-year-old.
or younger people, which kudos for their parents getting them an awesome all-wheel
Okay,
drive car in Nevada. You
cautious
need
young
that.
people.
Absolutely. Everybody else is doing speed limits 40. They're doing 45. The Subaru drivers are doing 35.
Okay,
35.
it is not us.
5 miles under the
Okay,
speed limit.
I
Under.
do
You get that, right? Under.
I do own a Subi. It's a really old Subi. And okay, fine. Right now, I don't want to drive that thing super fast because, yeah, I don't know. It's got a lot of miles on it. 350,000 or
Well, and
something. It's a 2000.
they're great cars. They are.
It is
They're
a good car.
awesome
I
cars.
didn't drive it slow. It's not a Subi wagon. My son had a Subi wagon, and oh, he didn't drive that sucker slow. No, he learned how to do donuts in a wagon. Um, yeah, around a roundabout in Incline Village. Sure. Um, but it's not all Subi drivers. But I do agree with you that I have seen
I just had to
the
put that out there.
boomer generation driving Subis being a little slower. Okay.
Not a bad
Now,
thing, I guess.
I
No offense.
apologize.
Sorry.
Yes. Okay. If you hear any, motor noises, we are doing a podcast in a trailer in front of my yard, and my husband is working on things. So, um, if you hear it, hey, by the way, if you hear that motor sound and you know what it is, chime in. I'll tell you if you're wrong or not.
All right.
Yeah. Everybody will guess the sound of that kind of motor that's going on right now.
All right. What do you got for us today, lady?
Okay, so today we are going to end up talking about a murder, but I am going to ask Rosa very quietly, go close the door on the trailer door. So, and I will start on this. This happens to be an Indian witch murder that had taken place in Lovelock. Now, this took place a while ago, and okay, people.
Lovelock where?
Huh?
Lovelock, Nevada?
Lovelock, Nevada.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said Lovelock. Yeah, there might be more than one Lovelock. I'm sorry. We are in Nevada. So
Witty bitties of
we're in Nevada. Yeah. So, yeah. This did happen in 1891. So another older one. Yeah, I hate reading glasses because everything's blurry when I'm looking at the camera. Okay. Woo, woo, woo.
Don't
Yeah,
look at the camera.
I know. Okay. So a lot of people turn around and they were talking, a lot of people talk about the supermoon and when the supermoon's around on how blue it is. Well, in this article, they say there was no supermoon the night of Winnemucca's murder on April 30th, 1891.
Yeah.
Only a slim crescent moon.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, led to the last execution of so-called witch in United States. It happened in what is known today as Lovelock, Nevada. Back then, people called the village Lovelocks after its benefactor, George Lovelock.
Okay. Small.
Winnemucca was a Shoshone medicine woman.
Okay.
Sketchy about why she chose to live among the northern Paiutes. So, Shoshones lived in different parts of Nevada, and the
Absolutely.
Paiutes lived in Lovelock, in the areas around Pyramid Lake. I don't know why. Pyramid just went right out my head at the moment.
Wadsworth,
Yeah.
Schurz, a lot of little wonderful Indian reservations here in Nevada.
Some people mention her adopted niece, Lizzie, was 12 years old. Nearly as the papers described, when Shika,
Spell that for me.
it's Winnescheika.
Who would do that to their kid?
Well, it's an Indian name.
Well, yeah, they didn't have to write it.
Right. I had to phonetically write it.
Hooked on phonics.
Yes. Winnescheika. Okay. And I could be mispronouncing it. So if there is any Native Americans that know how it's actually spelled, please give us the pronunciation proper.
Absolutely.
Okay. As a woman who seemed to glide rather than walk, so as a medicine woman, she seemed to glide with her essence and everything, than walk.
Mm.
She was a bright Indian woman of 35 summers. So she was probably 35 years old.
Yeah.
Perpessing, per, yeah, Perpessing in the appearance and manner, observed one reporter after her death. Winnemucca spoke English fluently enough to care for some of the town's white movers and shakers. In her eyes, all were equal. So it was really good for a Shoshone Native American to look at the white people as an equal.
Absolutely.
And they were looking at her as an equal.
Absolutely.
So that was really nice, as there was a lot of prejudice and, back
Come on,
then.
that time.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Fort Churchill was in the 1880s out here. That's
Mhm.
a old um, cavalry type of station that will probably take you out to as well. It's kind of cool of what's left behind. Anyways, I digress. On the night of the murder, conspirators lured that when Ishikra to the home of a Paiute, Susie's and Bungee Jim, by telling her that Susie needed help.
Who's Susie?
Well, I don't know yet. I'm reading this. Okay. But good question. Okay. Winnemucca had cared for Susie. Well, now your answer is coming. Winnemucca had cared for Susie before. So I guess as a medicine woman, she was helping her in her
Okay.
ailment. But something felt wrong to Lizzie. She decided to follow along. So Lizzie was Winnemucca's niece, adopted niece.
Adopted niece.
Okay. She peered into the cabin through the window. Lizzie never forgot what she saw. She froze as rooted to the desert ground as the sagebrush she had head behind until the next day. So apparently, whatever Lizzie saw was so frightful that she stayed behind a sagebrush. And if anybody knows about Nevada, these sagebrush are big, they stay, their roots are down, and if you try to rip them up, they have more roots down below, and really the only way to get rid of them is burn them.
Unless there's a windstorm and they're all dried up and then
Oh,
they
I
literally
know.
tumble
And then their
across the road
seeds
like
go
you see in the
everywhere.
movies.
Yeah.
Tumble. Hope you don't get
Oh,
them.
yeah. If you've ever seen A Million Ways to Die in the West, where the lead thing is the school teacher was killed by a tumbleweed, okay, we don't have that big of a tumbleweed around here, but you can end up with enough tumbleweeds that can stop you from driving down a road.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Come home and your whole backyard is just full of tumbleweeds and you're like, what the hell do I do?
Right.
Yeah.
Your car's got them stuck underneath. You're dragging them, afraid you're going to catch fire. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Lizzie, we digress. Lizzie witnessed something and she is hidden behind a sagebrush for an entire night. Now, this could have been a really cold night. At first, Paiute Susie screamed so loudly the jackrabbits ran for cover. That's pretty loud.
Yeah.
Susie thrashed like a wildcat in a snare. Her husband and 3 other women stood by, one wrapped in a wool blanket, although the night was warm. Later, Lizzie learned her name. So apparently, her name was Janine Massa. Winishikra glided to the side bed to check her patient for fever. So apparently, it was Jeannie that was sick.
Janine or Janine? Jeannie or Jeannie? What?
Well, have I said both names? Oh, I'm sorry. Jenny.
Jenny.
Okay, we'll go with Jenny.
Janine. Okay, Jenny. I like Jenny.
Okay. And Winnie Shikra, see, I'm terrible with names, glided to the sick bed to check her patient for fever. Could it be the pox? Poisoning? You know, chicken pox went around back then.
Yeah.
And poisoning, sure, rat poison, anything.
They didn't have rat poison.
Yeah. They had some kind of poison.
Oh, yeah, but not rat poisoning. Anyways, go ahead.
Well, you lived in the 1880s. Okay. Suddenly, in one fluid movement. Yeah, well, we haven't found all those articles yet. Jeannie pulled an axe from under her blanket and struck the medicine woman's skull. Jenny?
We agreed on Jenny.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So Jenny.
Yes.
We'll go back. Okay. Pulled an axe from under her blanket and struck the medicine woman in the skull.
Why?
When Ashikra crumbled to the floor, a second blow glanced off the side of her head. I don't care that I keep messing up Jenny's name now.
I know, huh?
Since she's the one that went, ee. She went Lizzie Borden.
She did. That's messed up. That woman was helping her.
Right. Okay. The man, oh my gosh. The man finished the job with a hunting knife. So an axe to the head wasn't enough, but the man came in with a hunting knife and sliced her throat.
Oh.
And poor Lizzie, 12 years old,
saw it all.
Watched the red ribbon of blood spurt and flow. She tried to scream, but no sound came out.
She was traumatized.
She's 12 years old. She was traumatized. No matter why she stayed behind a sagebrush all damn night long. Poor girl. Wow. Okay. I don't like this woman's name, and apparently my mouth does not want to keep saying it the proper way.
Jenny.
Okay. Jenny hacked at Winishika's body, stuffing the pieces into a barley bags. The age-old method of disposing of a witch. They must take steps to prevent her return. So they hacked her into pieces and then put her in a bag because they thought, as a medicine witch woman, she was going to regrow her lungs back together. Okay, I know we're talking about murder and we might make some people laugh, but please.
Mm.
Okay, this was the 1800s. Meanwhile, the man hitched up his wagon. Yeah, good old man, hitching wagons. He didn't notice the girl hiding behind the bush. Well, thank God for Lizzie, although her heart beat like a drum. Lizzie smelled smoke and guessed its source. The home she shared with Winishika was on fire.
Oh.
In the eyes of Winishika's neighbors, every last rattle, feather, and talisman must be burned to ashes. It was for the good of the tribe. Otherwise, she'd return and haunt them. The girl felt lost in the pit of her stomach. The killers drove to Medicine Rock, north of Legion Rock Shelter, 10 miles southeast of Winnemucca.
Wow.
Tossed the barley bags
Mm.
in a pit and covered them with dirt. They arrived back in town by sunrise. So 10 miles, it took them a long time to get there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In the next days, the town grew quiet and morose. Nobody would speak Winishika's name. But Deputy Sheriff Fellows heard rumors. He started asking around. A Paiute man showed him the grave site and led him to Lizzie. With her help, the deputy found 3 of the executioners. They admitted the deed but felt no guilt.
Mm.
Everyone knew Winishika was a witch, they said. So what? She was trying to help.
Yeah.
There was plenty of evidence. When she doctored ponies, their stablemates got sick and ran into gopher holes at full gallop, splintering their forelegs. 2 of the Lovelock's most revered citizen, both white, died under her care. You know what? If a medicine woman's taken care of, and let's say they had cancer, they could have been on their last deathbed anyways, and she wouldn't have helped.
Oh, absolutely.
Farmers found their cows drained of milk in the morning. Someone heard she killed 5 Indian babies in Austin. And what about those 8 Paiutes at Stillwater in Churchill County? Didn't they all die at her hands? This was all rumors that was going around. Since she'd been around, crops failed.
It's Nevada. It's Nevada.
Oh my God.
Small, small growing season.
Hunters came home empty-handed. It's not her fault that they were bad hunters. Besides, she cheated at cards. Okay. Fellows, which was the deputy sheriff, bound the killers over to the grand jury in Winnemucca. Lovelocks was not a city at the time. They didn't incorporate into a city until 1917. So it had to go to the next big city, which was Winnemucca. It didn't have a courthouse until 2 years later when it came to Pershing County's seat in Lovelock. So they went to the grand jury. Okay. The miscreants, which were the people that killed Winishika,
Mm-hmm.
stood trial in Judge Cheney's Humboldt County District Court. Within an hour, just 1 hour, the jury found Susie, Jim, and Ginny. Yes.
Yes. Guilty.
The 3 Indians convicted of murder in the 2nd degree of killing the witch at Lovelock's very sentenced today by Judge Cheney to 10 years in the state prison. Just 10 years? Okay, now that was in
I
1891.
was going to say, they didn't live very long back then.
No. 1st degree verdict would have meant hanging or life sentences. And after all, she was a witch, observed one of the jurors. Fellows, the sheriff,
Mm-hmm.
escorted the prisoners to Carson City to begin their sentence. So they went from Winnemucca all the way to the Carson City jail.
Wow, that's
in
a
1891. Yeah.
long
Okay.
call right
Sorry.
there.
Camera said low battery. This okay, the public opinion favored the inmates. The Bureau of Indian Affairs took no interest in the case since neither the killers or Winnebago were reservation Indians. However, Chief Natchez and the Captain Dave of the Pyramid Lake Reservation petitioned the governor. Many of the townships saw the killers as heroes. The State Board of Pardons set Winnebago's killers free in 1892, 1 year and 21 days from the start of their sentence. Each faded into obscurity. But Winnebago's blood flows through her descendants' veins like a red ribbon.
Wow. I would love to get the other side of the story.
Whose side?
The Paiutes and
Of why they killed her
yeah,
as a.
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
What made them feel like they needed to kill her? Was it because she was Shoshone medicine woman or
Because she was a witch and they were afraid of her, and because they had a witch in their. And all these bad things happen. I mean, it's possible. It's
but
superstition.
it is because if she would have been a Paiute medicine woman, it would have been a different outcome.
Maybe we can talk to somebody and get another side of the story.
That'd be really cool to
That
find
would
out
be
the history
cool.
of that, really and truly. But that was a great story. Thank you for sharing that. That was really
Yeah,
cool. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either
Mm-mm.
until I found that out.
Yeah, really
Yeah,
cool.
at
Thank
all.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
What else you got for us?
well, I have one other funny article that I read in an 1880s Goldfield Daily News. And I find it funny, and it's not very, whatever. It's just really funny how they wrote this. And it's a little blurb in the paper, and it was really hard to find it. It's called Three Shots.
Now, those who don't know, where's Goldfield at? Or
Oh,
Goat Hill,
Gold
excuse
Hill
me.
is up by Virginia City. It's west of Virginia City. It's all up in that Comstock area. Thank you for reminding me that not everybody might know where they are. Okay, so the article was called Three Shots. Jim Sullivan, Saturday evening at Schoff's Billiard Parlor, Virginia. So it was up in Virginia City. Had words with Charles Sargent. Sargent says Sullivan struck him, and he then threw a billiard ball and hit Sullivan in the mouth, giving him a regular hair lip. So a hair lip instead of a fat lip. Sullivan then shot 3 times at Sargent, one shot taking effect in a picture on the wall, another shot in the chair leg, and the other shot in Sargent's coat's tail. So they had a fight, all gunfire, just abrupt because somebody got a fat lip. But what I find really funny is one, they put that in the article and wrote it that way. But the fact that Mr. Sullivan is such a crappy shot.
I was about to say, he didn't hit him all 3 times.
I know. 3 times. Shoots the window, shoots the chair leg, and then shoots just his coattail.
And he got a fat lip, or he got a hair lip,
Right.
not a fat
Fat
lip.
lip. Right. And didn't get shot in the butt or anything else. I found it really funny that I know they were drinking a lot back then, but in a billiard parlor, they're
Can you imagine getting hit in the face?
by a billiard ball.
Oh
Oh, that's gotta.
God,
I'm
that would have
surprised he
hurt.
didn't lose a
I was gonna
tooth.
say break a teeth. Yeah,
Back
break.
then, teeth
Yeah.
weren't a very big thing, a handy thing.
Yes, they were. They were much needed. However, people
They
didn't
didn't take
know how to
care.
take care of them.
That's what I meant.
They were much needed. That was awesome.
Okay.
All
All
right, what
right.
else you got for us today, lady?
Okay. So we've got another card
All right.
that we're going to read. And this one is, and we would like to hear your answers to this as well. If you could rewind time and reveal one epic vacation from your past, which one would it be and why? So if you could rewind time and relive one epic vacation from your past, which one would it be and why?
I go first? You go
Yeah,
first.
you go first.
All right. That's a hard one. I'm going to take it back to my childhood. I'm going to go back to where my mom used to take me and my best friend to Six Flags. And that was growing up poor, something that she couldn't afford, but yet she made it happen. And it was just the best time, just riding the roller coasters, the bumper cars, the food, the smell.
Well, I'm with you on an amusement park.
Yeah.
Mine would have to be going to Disneyland
Oh,
with my dad. We went every 5 years because I think that was how much it would take, my parents to sign up. And
it's expensive
back then,
then. It was just
and
expensive all.
and I remember, we always ate out at the Blue Bayou. Was
Yep.
always the one restaurant. We had dinner in the park. That was the one thing. And then we stayed in a camper. We didn't stay in a hotel. But the one thing was really funny that I remember is being there. There was this one, they had put in the Tahitian terrace, and it was like Hawaiian thing, and they had hula girls. And my brother and my dad, that was the first time we were there, and the hula girls are dancing and doing all their thing. And my brother went to go take a thing, and he completely missed his mouth of food because he was just staring at the hula girls. And it was the most fun time. I always had a great time. I never knew my dad was a big kid until we were there. He loved the Dumbo ride and the teacups. But yeah, that's what I remember. Let us know your favorite memory and what
Absolutely.
vacation you would like to do. And thank you for being with us. And remember, if you're going to be a biddy, be witty.
Absolutely. And like and subscribe. Hit those like buttons, please.
And have a great day.
Bye, you
And come
guys.
back and see us next time.
Thank
Bye.
you.